Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good, thanks. I appreciate you coming on here and taking your time to talk to me.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. So I know we met a million years ago. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Where
Yeah,
did I meet you at? I mean, you look familiar. I don't
yeah,
remember.
no. We met through Rizaldi.
Yeah, at his house.
No, we worked together at Champions.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right. Okay.
and
Yeah.
is that Rizaldi's artwork behind you there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, he's awesome. We'll put a link to his artwork because he's amazing.
And this is my daughter's artwork.
That's amazing too. Just as good.
Well, she's inspired by her uncle. So,
That's so cute.
trying to get that light out of my eye. Okay.
So I guess I just want to talk to you a little bit first. I want to check and make sure that everybody is happy, healthy, everything's good in your household.
Yeah, we're very lucky. I think yeah, we're not doing without in any regards. Everybody's healthy. Me and my wife are both employed. Well, kind of. I mean, my fight fell through, so
Yeah.
that's kind of unemployed. But
Yeah.
yeah, things are real good. We're in a good position. I'm managing a jiu-jitsu academy, so I'm just doing all the back end work and explaining to the clients what's going on and how we're going to deal with this from a business standpoint. And then we're of course offering Zoom classes and an online curriculum. We have like kind of like a YouTube for jiu-jitsu, you could say, subscription based. So I'm adding videos on that. So I'm staying busy, which is allowing me to stay sane. So
Yeah, I bet. I mean, I saw you guys were doing some videos and I'm curious, how that's been training. I know you've got small children at home. Has it been difficult? Has it been almost a positive too to kind of let them into the mix a little bit?
well, I mean, so my daughter Zoe has been an assistant sensei, so she takes that job very seriously. So that's been great. I mean, she's been training jiu-jitsu since she's been 3. So she's 6 now, so it's been over 3 years. I mean, yeah, it's been good. This has been great family time for us. I work 6 days a week typically. I'm gone a lot, and I hate it. No, I don't want to say that. I love my job, but I hate being away from my kids.
Of course.
There's that movie Multiplicity with Michael Keaton.
Yes.
And he like clones himself. It's like I totally wish I could do that, right? Because I just want to spend all this time with my kids, though I enjoy the heck out of my job. This has been, it's been great for family for sure. It really has. But at the same time, me and my wife just bought a house this year, or technically last year. So that tends to be a little stressful.
Yeah.
The economy going down, and but yeah, I mean, overall for us, this has been fun. It really has. We've got to connect with the family, and we Junior's staying with us right now, my brother-in-law. So we're everybody's together.
Yeah. So you mentioned you had a fight cancel that was going to happen May 9th, correct? At the San Jose card?
Yeah.
So how'd that come about? How were you notified that that wasn't going to happen? And have you been told if, they're hoping to just kind of pick up that whole card and move it to a different date, or have you heard?
I wasn't. I think the words they used was it was postponed.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, basically the first 2 weeks of this lockdown, I was in fight camp. Luckily my brother-in-law Rizaldi, who used to be a fighter, he used to coach and train. He has a few amateur fights. He was able to hold mitts for me, and my wife is trained with us for years as well. So I was still training, but it's a little different. They're not really my size, and we didn't have mats that I can really grapple with. So I was doing everything I could to stay ready the first 2 weeks. But yeah, I was called by Bellator. I think it was literally first week of April. And when we found out it was going to be extended, through April, and they were like, we're gonna shut it down. There was no details on whether it was going to be rescheduled, but I have a good relationship with Bellator. When they come to San Jose, they usually try to get me on the card. So I've been lucky in that regard. Though, as selfish as I would like to be, I feel like I should be getting more fights. I feel like I feel like, you know, when I was with Strikeforce, my entire Strikeforce career, I was on promotional contract. Things were expedited for me. I was fighting a few times a year for them, at least twice a year, even with injuries. You know, I went through 4 surgeries during my Strikeforce tenure, and maybe even 5, and I still was fighting 2 or 3 times a year. You know, Bellator hasn't necessarily done that. Part of that's on me. I mean, I could sit here and write about it all day, but you know, my first 2 Bellator fights, I lost by decision. You know, I have a different opinion on whether I lost both those fights, but I still, it's black and white. You know, it's black and white in this sport. It's cold-hearted, like most businesses, right? And you know, the Bellator crew, they tell me they like me, and I, you know, I've done pretty well for them, but I think you know, as most people, I don't want to say most people, I'm sure a lot of people are complacent, but as a lot of people out there, I think that you always want to be paid more and utilized more from your boss, you know. And but I understand. I'm 39 years old, man. You know, I've been fighting a long time, and are they going to invest a lot of money in a guy that's that's most likely not going to be fighting in 5 years? Probably not. So I would like to fight more. Let me just say that. I'd like to fight more because I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I want to make some money for my family. I do feel like I've been fighting at a very, very high level for literally like 10 years. And I've been fighting top-notch guys in California and a few sprinkled from out of the country when they give me the you know, the privilege of doing that. So, but I want to fight more. I want to fight.
Yeah. So does it kind of, is there like a little bit of anxiety or worry that there is no end in sight as far as this, you know, shutdown goes? Is that, you know, because you are, like you're saying, you have an end in sight and time is of the essence, and you aren't, you know, you're saying you're not fighting as much as you want to fight. Is there a worry that this is time running out?
Yeah, without a doubt. Even without this pandemic going on, there's that, right? I mean, yeah, time is of the essence for me right now, without a doubt. Yeah, I'm a partner in a jiu-jitsu academy with Dave Camarillo. It's the Guerrilla Jiu-Jitsu Academy, his headquarters in Pleasanton. And, you know, it's kind of time for me to shift focus away from fighting, you know, but there's that selfish component and that athlete in me that doesn't want to give it up, you know, and from a conceptually, I understand, hey, you know, I'm going to be 40 next year. Like, you know, as much as I don't want to admit it, I'm past my prime, you know. So, yeah, it's a tough one. I want to fight. I want to go out with a bang. My last 2 fights I lost. I mean, that's a tough pill to swallow, you know. I fought Adam Piccolotti 2018 at a weight class I probably shouldn't have been fighting at. I walk around 200 pounds, and I fought him at 160, and you know, he fought an awesome fight, and yet again, that was a close fight. I don't think I got the credit. I don't think I got the credit I should have in that fight. I think that I could have won that fight in the judges' scorecards. I think, you know, and then my last fight was probably the worst fight of my career. You know, I fought the Mongolian guy, Betson Burel, and fantastic fighter, undefeated. He caught me early, and I just wasn't able to recover, and we fell into a situation where I basically kind of put myself into a bulldog choke, and I just wasn't with it enough. He had just rocked me and dropped me with a punch. So, anyways, you know, I'm kind of going on a tangent here, but I want to fight again because I've got a lot to prove to myself, you know, and I feel like those 2 fights that I just lost, I could have or should have won those, and I would be on a 6-fight win streak right now. So it is what it is. I just want a chance to redeem myself in my own eyes, you know.
So if Bellator had gone the route of the UFC and continued to host fights, would you have wanted to fight, or do you feel like maybe they made the right decision?
I would have won a fight, 100%. I mean, did they make the right decision? I think they did, right? It's real tough right now to make any decision on you know, it's like I'm regurgitating information that I'm hearing on the news or on the news or friends and family that I'm talking to, you know. I think that on one side of the spectrum, we have this shutdown was good for the betterment of mankind, and we want to mitigate the damage that this pandemic is going to, you know, create to our society or to the world, really. On the other end of that, I think that this could be being blown out of proportion. I'm not on either side of that, right? I just understand there's two sides of this, right? So the side that's like, this is being blown out of proportion, I want to fight.
Yeah.
But the side that's going to be socially responsible, that wears a mask when I go out in public to go shopping, the side of me that has stayed home and not gone out and trained with anybody, even though my teammates have asked me to, that side of me is being socially responsible. And that side of me would say it's a good thing that this was shut down. Mm-hmm. It's hard for me to have an opinion on that. I'm all over the place. You know, I don't have enough information to say that one was right or not, but I'll tell you this, if they would have had the fight May 9th, I would have fought 100%, and I would have been as ready as I could have been. So that's all I can say.
So seeing that the UFC is going to make their return hopefully on May 9th, ironically, the same night does that kind of like, are you going to watch it? Are you going to support it or what?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, I love MMA, man. I'm like, you know, I've been doing this a long time, and one of the best things about fighting these big organizations and doing what I've done is I get to rub elbows with guys that I'm huge fans of, you know. I love fighting so much on so many levels. So yeah, I'll support them. Is it the right thing to do? I don't know. It's going to be entertaining. I don't know if it's the right thing to do, you know. Like I said, I think part of me, you know, feels like this is being blown out of proportion, you know. But I'm trying to be responsible, and I want to listen. I want to listen to the science, the scientists. Yeah, exactly. My wife was trying to. We want to listen to the scientists.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's tough for everybody because we all want to be at work. We all want to be out doing fun things, but at the same time, we also don't want to potentially harm someone. So you are in a kind of a gray area there, especially with fighters, because if you don't fight, you don't get paid. So.
Yeah, and I think that if anybody has, if anybody puts their stake in one side or the other, they better really be educated on what's going on. And I think it's too early. So because of that, what would we rather do? Would we rather be selfish and say, this is bullshit and it's being overblown, right? You could say that, but if you're saying that and then going out and not being socially responsible, that's one thing, right? So I'm going to obviously reside on the side of, hey, this could be really, really bad. And yes, I could infect somebody. That's a fact. Mm-hmm. I don't want to go out and be a part of that.
Right.
Whether it's being blown out of proportion or not. I'm gonna follow what the right thing to do is, right?
And just one last question for you. You know, so many people are at home training or trying to stay in shape of all levels. You know, people who just go to the gym for 10 minutes a day or just go once a week or whatever it is. What's your advice to somebody who maybe doesn't have access to online training or doesn't have access to a gym in their home? What would you advise for them to do in their home?
Well, I mean, plyometric exercises, bodyweight exercises. I did this awesome workout. One of my buddies, he's a police officer in the Bay Area, and he trains with us. He's a blue belt, and he sent me this workout the other day. Super simple. It's 20-minute AMRAP, as many rounds as possible of burpees. And it was horrible, right? So
yeah, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, and then I posted it on Instagram, like, "Hey, I did it." And I'm like flexing, you know. And then a bunch of my buddies just hit me up, you know. And it was cool. Like, I've gone back and forth with multiple people on that. Like, they'll post a workout, and I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna try that," you know. And I got this many reps, or I did this much time. So, I mean, I just think, I think any body weight exercises that you can be doing is great. We're running Zoom classes for our members and our affiliates. We're actually going to add that in. And one of the classes that I'm running 3 times a week as of right now, we're going to add more, but I'm running the 3 to 5 year olds. And I'm having my daughter do it with me. And yeah, we're doing technique. Like yesterday we did knee on belly, right? So we're doing that position, but and we're doing it on pillows because some of the kids don't have partners, right? They don't have siblings and their parents are jumping in, which is awesome. But a lot of them we're just doing it pillows. You know, but beyond that, I'm just getting them to sweat. You know, I'm getting them to do sprawls and jumping jacks and push-ups, just the basic, you know, the stuff we learned in 4th grade gym class, you know. So I think any kind of movement is good for us. Any kind of sweating, it's really easy nowadays to stay in the house, especially with all the technology we have. But at the same time, that can also be a betterment. That can be good for your fitness, because you can research things that maybe you weren't doing before. You know, it's really easy to access things online. People don't have online access. Let's just keep it old school. You know, one of my buddies also eloquently put it, we're doing prison workouts.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that advice. I know I've been trying to stay in shape. Do you mind giving everybody a little shout out to where they can find you on social media, and also some information on where to find your gym online as well?
Yeah, of course. Heck yeah. So you guys can find me on Instagram. My name on Instagram is @intense1. It's actually spelled intense, 0 NE. The O is a 0. It's kind of a riddle. So if you can figure it out, kudos to you. So intense1, O is a 0. I'm on Facebook. James Terry. Find me there. I have a Twitter also. I think my Twitter is intense1 also. Same one. I don't use it too much. My wife started a TikTok, so I might start that soon.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing those dances with my daughters last night, so we'll see. That'd be intense1 also if I start one of those. And then, you know, my Jiu-Jitsu academy. I'm a partner at Grow Jiu-Jitsu in Pleasanton. We have 2 academies, one in San Jose and one in Pleasanton, where I'm at. Both in the Bay Area. My daughters. Tegan, zip it. Come here. You want to say hi?
Yeah, bring them on.
Yeah, let me grab her.
Sure.
Can you say hi? Let's say hi to Amy. You say hi, Amy?
No,
Why not?
I want to.
You don't want to say hi to
Oh,
Oh,
hi.
this is my 2-year-old. This is Tegan. You say hi, Lovey?
Can I see your dolly?
Oh,
No, that's your dolly.
it's her sister's dolly.
Oh, well, can I see your sister's dolly?
Show her Zoe's dolly.
It was your birthday.
It's her birthday?
Yeah.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
She got it on her birthday. That's good. That's a good brain you got. She must have got it from Mama.
Oh, it's so cute.
So I was saying Grill Jiu-Jitsu. Grill Jiu-Jitsu online. Grill JJ online. We have that if you guys want to check out tutorial videos and things. It's a subscription based, but just, you know, check out our website, Gorilla'Jiu-Jitsu.com.
Put the link in the comments below.
Yeah, it'd be great. Do it. I think you know, we've got a real cool academy, and that the online platform that we had set up already has been you know, saving grace for many of our members, because we have hundreds of videos on there, and we're adding more and more. And you can see this one. I got some videos with her on there. Yeah,
Yeah, that's worth it. That's worth the subscription right there.
Right the back.
Teddy bear in the back. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking your time out of your family time and talking to us, and we'll get this up today. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you. Great
Bye.
talk. Bye.